course, she can't eat much to start. She's not ready to quit chemo. Now, Miss Jean has struck a bargain all her life, a hard discipline of grace and stylish manners in exchange for having her own way in everything. Now, it's a setup to get cheated bitterly is what I think about it. But to Miss Jean, it's the good fight. At $10,000 a treatment, her doctor isn't about to tell her different. She curls into a fetal position and sleep. In the morning, I'll take her feet in my hands and I'll rub all the way up her body in order to straighten her out enough to sip a little juice. Every morning, the curling is a bit deeper and the straightening less. When I lay my hands on her, I can feel the door standing open ahead of her. This all reverses when that son of hers sends a big bunch of flowers and a little note that he's flying in for a visit. Now, first thing Miss Jean does is try not to cry. Now, I've been watching for this because she hasn't yet, despite all of her embarrassment and pain. I tell her firmly to go on and do it. Now, Miss Jean is scared of me because I am fat and I've always worked for a living. By now, she does what I say. I'll keep rubbing her bony little back and praising her to the skies while she weeps into the sleeve of her robe. Now, it's tricky because I want to catch her at about 7 or 8 years old. Now, that kind of crying is fresh and healthful, and done when it's done. With my voice and my touch, I take her there. Damn, I'm good. I quit being conceited, and I feel grateful, as I should. When she sits up, I have a vain, stubborn woman of 30 on my hands. Now something comes into her eyes. Oh, they are not old anymore, but deep and fine. She tilts her head so her cheekbones show. So, Miss Jean, what are your goals for this visit?
Ferris, my son, simply lives for his work. When he comes, I will wait on him myself. But maybe this time I must save my strength for talking with him. I don't want to be nauseated, constipated, or dopey. We'll have tea on the terrace when he comes. I want to get out of this room. And I want to look pretty.
I go through her closet. Now, Miss Jean is going on 86 and dying of cancer. She's not going to turn out pretty, like a pretty girl. The thing is just to use some imagination. There is not one single comfortable thing to wear until I find a heavy red kimono boxed up on a top shelf. Turns out it was a gift from some opera singer. We do her shower the evening before in order to ration her energy. She sits on a soft vinyl stool in the shower stall, and I stand just outside wearing a plastic apron and soaping her armpits. I'm proud of you for getting better at living in a new way. Not everybody can do that. I knead her neck and rub her bald head all over with a sudsy sponge, making up for all those nannies again as best I can. Who knows? Maybe having tea with his son will be her last business. Before bed, I give her a drug to break up her constipation. Now, Miss Jean, you don't want to spend the whole visit thinking about your bowels. Miss Jean actually giggles. I wake her up at 2 a.m. to take her meds for pain. We have planned the timing so that she will be at about a 3 on the scale when her son comes, which means not too dopey but still able to focus and talk. In the morning, she takes her meds for nausea for the last time. Oh, she won't need them anymore once the chemo drugs clear her system. I get her into the red kimono. The 2 maids help to lift her into the wheelchair, and this big man Julian, who was her driver when she used to go out, muscles the oxygen tank across the carpet after us. Outside, there's an orange tree and a little fountain. Her IV drip still swings in the breeze, but a red satin quilt tucked around her red silk lap hides the wheels of the chair. I hope to God this son shows up. I sit down in the chair we've left for him with a makeup case on my lap, and I proceed to give her Cleopatra eyes and a dusting of gold powder all over her bald head. I try to smooth her back into herself with my fingers, but she doesn't really come until the door chime rings. During the visit, I hang out in the kitchen with the maids, sipping a cup of tea. That night in bed, Miss Jean is little and white with pain. She's got a white paper cup of water and another one of pills. This crowding, invisible radiance moves into the blue bedroom, and the air ripples with charged energy that is not her or me. It's the threshold in my heart. I'm pressed past the heart-swollen space that is tears and sorrow to a purple stillness. I watch Miss Jean slipping back through all her days like falling water. She opens her eyes, and she has the infant gaze that sees everything at once. I'm holding her hard, with my feet braced, when Miss Jean makes her crossing.